Bright Sun's Galactic Traveler. I'm your host, Jiro Donal, owner of the Little Koboh Cantina and Curiosities. I will be teaching you today Street Hintaro. Street Hintaro is a simplified version, kind of like a back alley game of the more sophisticated game of Hintaro, involving dice or chance cubes. And this I have seen several times. I've seen it played on Tashara, Kijimi, Tatooine, both cantinas and in the streets, hence the name Street Hintaro. In order to play, a dice box is recommended but not required. We want to avoid any unnecessary blast fire by a pedestrian stepping on one of your chance cubes in the streets. So that is how we're going to play. Also, 5 chance cubes are required. Well, not required. You can only play with 2, but traditionally each player has their own set of 2, and 1 for the tiebreaker or Hintaro roll. The chance cubes will only have 2 symbols or colors. Traditionally, it is the red and the blue, but you can do whatever symbols you want so long as each chance cube has 3 of one symbol and 3 of the other symbol, and that symbol is shared across the entire set. I've seen some syndicates who have made their own chance cubes. One player has gold and black, another player has silver and blue, and then the Hintaro dice is dedicated with black and red. As long as they all have the same symbols, the match doesn't really matter. There are 2 ways to play that I've noticed. On the street version, you're trying to get the highest score as possible, and in the cantinas, you're trying to get as close to 0 or the least score as possible. We have a few different stages before we roll, and not so much in the Street Hintaro version as the cantina, but this option is completely up to you, whoever is hosting the game. We begin. Each player will place their ante. I'm just doing 1 standard gold credit right now. First player will roll. The first player rolls 2 red. The second player will roll, and they also get 2 red. In this instance, the Hintaro roll doesn't matter. So to keep going, each player will do an additional ante, and we will start again. First player will roll, 2 red once again. Second player rolls, 2 blue. So this is anyone's guess. So player 1 decides we've had a whole bunch of red rolls, so I will increase the bet by 2. Second player, yes, but it just got broken, so I think I'm going to win. So he matches the bet. There's only 1 betting phase, so you can either match or withdraw. In this instance, both players matched. Roll. And it's a blue. So according to the Street Hintaro rules, the highest score wins. So second player gets all the credits. However, if we were doing the Cantina rules, this player will get 3, and this player will have a 2. So 2 is close to 0. So according to the Cantina rules, player 1 will win. So it all determines on how you want to play, whether you want to get the highest score or the lowest score. Just make sure to establish that before you start rolling the chance cubes. So let's go a couple more rounds so I'll get a feel for it. So each player will place their ante. Okay, and we declare we're doing the street rules. So whoever gets the highest score. Player 1 rolls a red and a blue. On the street rules, red and a blue, this is your best chance because no matter what the next roll is, you're going to get a 2. Rolls, and it's a pair. So that's a tie. Nobody wins. Everyone puts one more ante in. So roll a red and a blue. And a red and blue again. I guess, hey, this can happen a bit. So tensions get high because everyone keeps tying. Everyone goes up. The anticipation of a couple of chance cubes. Roll. A 2 blue. Player 2 rolls. A red and a blue. Okay. At this point, I think both players are just going to stand. We already have 3, so one of them is going to get 3 extra credits. So we roll this one. We get a blue. So the street rules, that means player 1 wins, gets the entire pot. Let's do one more time, but in the casino version. The casino, we want to get the closest to 0 as possible. So do the ante. Player 1 rolls. 2 reds. So player 1 is hoping for a blue roll for the Hintaro. Second player, a red and a blue. So that means if it's a red, player 2 wins. But if it's a blue, then player 1 wins. So let's raise 1. Let's raise 1. So whoever gets the lowest score wins. It's a red. So that means player 2 wins this one. You can keep going back and forth however you want. You can do one of the street rules, one of the cantina rules. Keep playing until one player runs out of credits or until you think you've had enough. You can see with the ties, it does get quite tense. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Street Hintaro is one of the most simple games that I've been able to come across. I will be coming out with videos for future games. Some of them you've heard of, some of them probably not. I hope you'll join me in that journey. Until then, good journey.